It was a chilly morning in the heart of the city, where life buzzed at its usual fast pace. The streets were alive with honking cars, the aroma of freshly baked bread wafting from street carts, and vendors shouting their deals to anyone who'd listen. Among the throng of people was Emma, a young woman whose striking appearance made her impossible to miss. Her golden hair shimmered like the morning sun, and her blue eyes held a depth that seemed to tell untold stories. But Emma wasn't walking with the confidence her beauty might suggest. Instead, she kept her scarf snugly wrapped around her, as though trying to disappear into the crowd. She avoided eye contact, her shoulders slightly hunched, bracing for what she knew was coming. As she turned down a busy corner, the murmurs started. "Look at her, acting like she's too good for anyone," someone sneered from a shopfront. "She thinks she's perfect, doesn't she?" said another, loud enough for Emma to hear. Her stomach twisted, but she didn't stop walking. Each step felt heavier, the sting of their words slicing deeper. She had dealt with this before, more times than she could count. But this time, Emma decided something had to change. What she did next left everyone speechless, proving there was far more to her than anyone had imagined. Little did they know, this moment would mark the beginning of a transformation that no one could have predicted. Emma had always been noticed, but not in the way she wished. Her beauty was the kind that stopped people in their tracks: golden hair, piercing blue eyes, and a smile that could light up a room. As a child, it seemed magical. Strangers would compliment her, teachers would comment on her angelic appearance, and people often treated her with extra kindness. But by the time Emma reached her teens, she realized that beauty wasn't always a gift. Growing up in a cramped apartment with her mom, who worked long hours as a nurse, Emma knew what real struggles looked like. Her dad had walked out when she was too young to remember, leaving her mom to shoulder everything alone. Even in hard times, her mom taught her the importance of kindness. "What you do for others is what people remember," her mom would say, often with tired eyes but a warm smile. Emma tried to live by those words, but her looks made it harder. In high school, the girls called her names: fake, attention seeker, or worse. The boys weren't any better, always pestering her, assuming her beauty meant she owed them her attention. No one saw Emma's quiet dreams, her love for art, or the way she'd lose herself in painting late into the night. They only saw a face, not a person. By the time she was 21, Emma had found some refuge working at a coffee shop. She liked the rhythm of it, the hiss of the espresso machine, the chatter of customers, the smell of fresh pastries. But even there, her appearance made her a target. Some customers stared too long, made inappropriate remarks, or left tips with notes that made her feel more like an object than a person. Still, she smiled, carried their orders, and treated everyone with kindness. What kept her grounded was her art. In the evenings, she'd retreat to a tiny corner of her apartment where she painted her heart out. Her dream was to open an art gallery one day, a space filled with colors and stories that reflected who she really was. But life wasn't that simple. Every day brought a new challenge, a new reminder that people judged her for her face and not her soul. Emma tried to brush it off, but deep down, it hurt. She longed for a moment where she could show the world that she was more than a pretty face. That moment came unexpectedly, and it would change her life forever. Emma didn't know it yet, but she was about to prove to the world, and to herself, that beauty wasn't about how you looked. It was about what you did, even when it was hard. It was a gray, rainy afternoon, and the city streets were slick with puddles. Emma had just finished her shift at the coffee shop, exhaustion tugging at her shoulders. She pulled her hoodie tight over her head, clutching her bag as she hurried toward the bus stop. The rain softened the usual hustle and bustle, but she still felt the familiar weight upstairs. As she reached the stop, she noticed a young girl standing under the shelter, her small frame shaking. The girl looked no older than 10, her oversized school bag sagging under the rainwater. She glanced around nervously, biting her lip, her eyes darting to every passing bus. Emma paused, unsure if she should approach. The girl seemed frightened, but Emma didn't want to overwhelm her. Then she'd heard her mother's voice in her mind. A kind heart lasts forever. She stepped forward, crouching to meet the girl's eye level. "Hey," Emma said softly, her tone gentle. "Are you okay? Do you need help?" The girl looked up, startled, her big brown eyes glistening with tears. I missed my bus," she whispered. It was the 34, and now I don't know what to do. Emma felt her chest tighten. She knew that feeling, the fear of being small and lost in a big, indifferent world. "It's okay," she said warmly. "We'll figure it out together." She pulled out her phone, shielding it from the rain, and checked the bus schedule. The next 34 wouldn't arrive for another hour. Emma glanced at the girl's soaked clothes and trembling hands. Without a second thought, she unwound her scarf and draped it over the girl's shoulders. "This'll keep you warm," Emma said, smiling. The girl hesitated. "But won't you be cold?" Emma shook her head. "I'm fine. What's your name?" "Lila," the girl replied shyly. "Well, Lila, let's make sure you get home safe," Emma said. She called the bus company to confirm the route and kept chatting with Lila to ease her nerves. A few bystanders watched, whispering among themselves. One woman muttered, "Always trying to be the center of attention." Emma caught the words but brushed them off. This wasn't about her. It was about Lila. When the 34 finally arrived, Emma guided Lila onto the bus. She handed the driver a few dollars for the fare and explained the situation. "Please make sure she gets to this address," she said, double-checking it with Lila. As the bus pulled away, Lila pressed her hands and face against the glass, waiting furiously. "Thank you, Emma," she called, her voice cutting through the rain. Emma stood there, soaked to the bone but smiling. By the time she got home, her clothes were dripping, and her nose was red from the cold. Her mom handed her a blanket as soon as she stepped in. "What happened to you?" her mom asked, concerned. "I just helped a little girl get home," Emma said simply, brushing it off like it was nothing. What Emma didn't realize was that someone at the bus stop had recorded the entire interaction and posted it online. By the next morning, the video had gone viral. The clip, titled "Kind Girl in the Rain," spread like wildfire, capturing hearts worldwide. Emma's act of kindness wasn't just a small moment anymore. It had become a story of hope and compassion, inspiring countless others to help those in need. Her life was about to change in ways she never expected. The following morning, Emma woke up to her phone buzzing non-stop. Her mind was still foggy from sleep, but the endless vibrations from the bedside table quickly pulled her into full alertness. Blinking away the grogginess, she grabbed her phone. The screen was flooded with notifications, messages, missed calls, and social media alerts. Her best friend Maya had left a dozen texts in a row. "Emma, you're famous." "OMG, check the news." "I can't believe this." Emma's heart skipped a beat as she scrolled through the messages. Her hands felt unsteady, and she clicked on a link Maya had sent her. The video that appeared made her stomach drop. There she was, Emma, standing in the rain, helping Lila, her scarf wrapped around the little girl, the two of them waiting for the bus. Emma remembered the moment so clearly, the cold, the rain, the kindness that felt so natural to offer. But now, it felt surreal seeing it on screen, shared with thousands. The video's caption read, "Kindness in the rain, a small act that touched thousands." Emma's jaw dropped as she scrolled through the flood of comments below. This is what humanity looks like. She's amazing. Who is this girl? Someone find her. Before she could take in everything, Emma's mom entered the room, holding her own phone. "Emma," her voice trembled, "there's someone on the phone for you. You won't believe who it is." Emma felt a strange lump in her throat as she took the phone. "Hello? Is this Emma?" a calm, deep voice asked. "Yes, this is Emma," she answered, unsure of what to expect. "This is James Parker, CEO of the Parker Foundation." Emma froze. She had heard of the Parker Foundation before. It was one of the most influential organizations in the country, supporting education, youth development, and social causes. "I saw the video of what you did," James continued. "Your kindness and selflessness are exactly what this world needs more of. I'd like to meet you in person." Emma's heart raced. "Emmy? Meet you?" "Yes," James said with warmth in his voice. "We have a program that helps children like Lila, young people who need guidance and support. I think someone like you could inspire others to join our cause." Emma's mind was spinning. "I don't know what to say. I'm just an ordinary person." "That's exactly why your story matters," James said. "You remind people that small acts of kindness can make a big difference." The conversation ended with plans for Emma to visit the foundation the following week. As she hung up, Emma sat back on her bed, overwhelmed by what had just happened. Just yesterday, she was helping a lost girl at the bus stop, thinking it was no big deal. Now she was being contacted by the CEO of one of the country's largest charitable organizations. What she didn't know was that this was just the beginning. Her simple act of kindness had set off a chain of events that would change her life and the lives of others. in ways she could never have imagined. A week after the phone call with James Parker, Emma stood outside the towering glass building of the Parker Foundation. Her hands were slightly trembling as she clutched her bag, a mix of excitement and nervousness threatening to overwhelm her. She took a deep breath, pushing aside the nerves, and stepped through the revolving doors. The lobby was alive with energy. People moved about, talking about their latest community projects, plans to help children, and ways to make a difference. Emma felt out of place at first, unsure of how she fit into this world of movers and shakers. But the receptionist greeted her warmly, pulling her back into the moment. "You must be Emma," she said with a smile. "Mr. Parker is expecting you." A few moments later, Emma found herself in a large, brightly lit conference room, its walls adorned with photos of smiling children and successful community programs. Then, James Parker entered, calm, composed, yet undeniably inspiring. "Emma," he said, offering a genuine smile, "thank you for coming." The meeting lasted for hours. James spoke passionately about the impact her video had made. Donations to the Parker Foundation had doubled, and people across the country were reaching out to offer help to children like Lila. "Your story has sparked something powerful," he said. "It's shown that kindness is contagious." "We want you to be part of this," James added. "We'd love for you to become our youth ambassador." Emma froze. "Me? I don't have any special skills." "Emma," James interrupted, "you have what many lack, heart. That's what we need." Those words stuck with her long after the meeting ended. They resonated in a way Emma had never expected. She had spent her life doubting her worth, feeling like her kindness wasn't enough to make a difference. But here she was being told that her heart was exactly what the world needed. In the weeks that followed, Emma's life transformed. She began visiting schools and community centers, sharing her story and encouraging others to practice kindness. With each speech, her confidence grew. She was no longer just Emma, the girl from the coffee shop. She was Emma, a voice for those who felt invisible, a symbol of what small acts of kindness could achieve. One day, after speaking to a group of children, Emma noticed a shy little girl standing at the back. She reminded Emma so much of Lila, quiet, withdrawn, unsure of how to fit in. After the event, Emma walked over and knelt down beside her. "Hi, I'm Emma. What's your name?" "Isabella," the girl whispered. They talked for a while, and Emma learned that Isabella struggled to make friends and often felt out of place. Emma shared her own experiences, how she had often felt overlooked, even though people were always focused on her appearance. Sometimes, Emma told her, being different is your superpower. Isabella's eyes lit up, and a smile spread across her face. For the first time, she felt seen. Emma's efforts didn't stop there. Inspired by her story, the Parker Foundation launched a new initiative called Kindness in Action. Through this program, thousands of volunteers began working together to support communities in need, from helping underprivileged children to providing meals for families going through tough times. Emma's small act of kindness had sparked a movement. Months later, Emma received a letter from Lila. It read, "Dear Emma, thank you for helping me that day. I'm doing well in school now, and I've made lots of new friends. You're my hero. Love, Lila." Emma's eyes filled with tears as she read the letter. She realized that what had started as a simple, kind gesture had rippled through the world in ways she couldn't have imagined. A few months later, Emma found herself on a stage at a national event, addressing a crowd of thousands. As she spoke, she felt a sense of purpose she had never known before. "Kindness doesn't cost a thing," she said, "but it can change everything." The audience erupted in applause, and Emma's heart swelled with pride. She had come a long way, from a girl hiding in the shadows to a woman standing in front of thousands, spreading a message of hope. As the applause faded, Emma knew this was only the beginning of her journey. What had started as a rainy afternoon had turned into a path filled with inspiration, growth, and endless possibilities. She wasn't just a girl anymore. She was a beacon of kindness and change. And in her heart, Emma knew her story would continue to inspire others for years to come. Emma's story shows just how powerful a simple act of kindness can be. Her decision to help Lila on a rainy day didn't just change Lila's life. It sparked a chain reaction that touched countless others. It's a reminder that we all have the ability to make a difference. What Emma's experience teaches us is that small, thoughtful actions often lead to far-reaching impacts. It's not about having the resources to change the world or waiting for a big moment. Sometimes, it's just about offering a hand to someone who needs it. Emma didn't know that helping Layla would lead to becoming a youth ambassador or inspiring thousands of people across the country. She simply did what felt right, and that made all the difference. Now, think about it. What small act of kindness could you offer today? Whether it's helping someone with their groceries, offering a kind word, or just listening when someone needs to talk, these moments matter. And they don't just make someone's day better, they can spark change too. What would you do if you had the chance to make a difference in someone's life? Share your ideas in the comments below. Maybe it's a big idea or something as simple as offering a smile. Whatever it is, your thoughts could inspire others to take action as well. If Emma's story moved you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more heartwarming stories, and share it with your friends and family. Let's start a movement of kindness, one small act at a time. Remember, one small act of kindness can change a life, and maybe even the world. So what's stopping you from starting your ripple today?